He is heading northbound on the 110 freeway, heading up toward Pasadena on this 110 Harbor Freeway. Being pursued by the Highway Patrol. We're still trying to find out what exactly sparked this to begin with. Our assignment desk working to find that information out. They are certainly interested in this enough to remain with the pursuit. We saw one earlier in the week where they backed off because of speed, and they decided that it wasn't the offense that was involved wasn't worth the danger to the public. So far, they have deemed this one to be worth the effort and the risk that they are undertaking in order to follow this individual. Again, it's a white Ford F-250 pickup truck, and being pursued by the California Highway Patrol. About how many units are behind him, JT?
Well, we see at least 1, 2, but what's interesting, Mark and Michelle, what's just happened is the first 2 units behind him actually shut down their emergency equipment. Not sure why that is. We're going to push back in to see that they did shut down. Now, I don't know if they're trying to cancel the pursuit or what exactly is going on here, but the third and fourth unit, well, now we're back on. So it was interesting to see. I'm not sure if they were about to shut down the pursuit. We're trying to listen here. Going northbound, coming up on Via Marisol, Highland Park area. So this is where we talked about, Mark and Michelle. It gets really narrow, 2-lane highway, very twisty through this area. Start doing all these S-turns back through here. But again, speeds are manageable, pushing 60, 70 miles per hour. Not too bad, but again, a big truck. These big trucks are very maneuverable, I should say. They're the way they make them now. In fact, I drive one of these, and it's a great vehicle, and they're fast. They got the turbo in them if it's the same model I have, and they can really boogie if they need to. There's that CHP keeps shutting down his emergency equipment and then turning it back on. Not sure if he's having problems with his overhead light bar or siren, but back on right now as we continue northbound on 110, coming up on Avenue 64. And this will twist and turn through South Pass and then go back into Pasadena. So we'll see what happens here. But pretty manageable speeds, as we mentioned before. I haven't seen any real evasive maneuvers or anything real dangerous. Sticking to 1 lane or 2 as they continue up here. It started, we picked it up pretty high speeds, 70, 80 miles per hour, westbound on the 10 before he transitioned to the 101 and then onto the 110 freeway, and continuing northbound here.
What's ahead of him, JT, in terms of this freeway? I can't remember exactly how the 110, I think it ends up there somewhere, and right?
Yep.
Does it ends on a surface? It ends on surface streets, right, Michelle? Or?
Yeah, it does.
Okay.
Yeah, how far away are we from that point, JT?
I would say we got a couple more miles here. Michelle, we'll give you the look here in a second. We got a couple more straightaways, and then it will dump into Pasadena. I would say maybe another mile or 2. Coming up on Orange Grove right now, northbound 110. So not too much. He's going to run out of freeway, so LAPD, I'm sure, and CHP are letting Pasadena PD know that this is coming into their area. This is where that 110 freeway actually turns eastbound right before it lets out and ends. So we're getting real close to the end of the freeway. Now, we're getting information, guys, we just heard it, that has not been confirmed yet, but the possibility that the suspect is armed. And uncertain if he's wanted for other crimes involving that weapon, but they believe that he may be armed, so that brings a whole new circumstances into play here during this pursuit.
Sure does, and we are learning that it began in Orange County, so that Buena Park PD, following information that we had earlier, it sounds like that is how this began in Buena Park, continuing now in LA County on the 110 freeway, heading north toward Pasadena. And as we talked about just a minute ago or so, this freeway will eventually run out and turn into just surface streets. The 110 north does not connect with another Southland freeway. It just ends. And so it'll become even more dangerous, of course, when it gets onto surface streets.
Yeah, then we're talking about he's
right now.
Go ahead. So it turns into Arroyo Parkway, right?
Yeah, Arroyo Parkway is coming up next. In fact, he's through it now. Now we're on surface streets. We are northbound on Arroyo Parkway in the city of Pasadena. Speeds looking to be 70+ miles per hour, so pretty fast in this area, continuing through Pasadena. We're sure that Pasadena has been notified. Now, what's interesting to us, and we're hearing that you mentioned it, is that Buena Park was following this vehicle, so it very possibly could have been a surveillance, and they decided to light it up, and when they did, he ran. So we're getting information to the desk. We're trying to get information. Maybe we'll talk to the air unit overhead. We're not sure what agency is over this, but LAPD Air Support Division is actually the air support overhead. So we're going to try to get some more information when they're available, but they're pretty busy right now. As we continue northbound Arroyo Parkway through the heart of Pasadena, Colorado, not too far up ahead, but it looks like he may be making a turn here. Yep, we're going to be eastbound on Del Mar from Arroyo Parkway. And we talked about it before, the pit maneuver may not be an option here with these smaller Explorers with this big vehicle. Looks like we're going to make a turn onto northbound Marengo from Del Mar. Speed's manageable. You saw LAPD Air Support Division go through the shot here. Don't know where he's going or where he plans to go, but this big vehicle going through green lights right now. We'll see if he comes up to red. It can be very dangerous, this size and speed of this vehicle, if it makes an impact with any vehicle. Obviously, any vehicle, T-boning any vehicle is a problem, but this one especially, a very big F-250 truck, King Cab, that's going to be a problem.
It is big and it is heavy. Does the fact that it's a pickup, and does that make it a little easier to pit because the rear of the vehicle might be a little lighter in terms of the weight distribution, or am I just wrong about that?
Well, I would say the size of this vehicle, if it's much higher off the ground. So the center of gravity is going to be much higher in the vehicle as we turn onto Holly eastbound.
This is right by
There's
City
that big
Hall, isn't it?
area. Yeah, this is right near LA City Hall, Pasadena City Hall, Pasadena Police Department's right there off the right. So driving right down Garfield here, southbound, right by the police department. That's off the right side there. And back out to Colorado Boulevard, and looking like he's going to go eastbound on Colorado. We were here just about an hour ago for all the people lined up outside the Apple store for the Apple 10. So we'll see all those people coming into frame here shortly. But continuing eastbound on Colorado at Los Robles, speeds pushing 50 miles per hour right now. So manageable speeds, not too fast, but we'll see what he does when he comes through this light. He's had green lights the whole way. We haven't seen him go through a red light yet, but got to keep an eye on that as he continues eastbound.
Right, and this is the part of Pasadena, I believe, where on a Friday night, these streets would be pretty crowded, wouldn't they? All those restaurants and shops and things, and people go out through Old Town Pasadena on any given Friday or weekend night. But right now, so far, the streets pretty much deserted, and that is good news because you don't want anybody in harm's way, as it looks like his speed is picking up a little bit.
Yeah, he's went up to 40, but he's making these turns on Oak Knoll and now making a turn onto Union back eastbound. That's a one-way street, and he's going the wrong way on a one-way. So we're going to widen out and look ahead and make sure that he doesn't run into anybody or any traffic coming. We don't see the CHP units behind him. We widen out just a little bit here. That's Lake. Well, they are behind him, so they did follow him on the one-way, but now going to be southbound on Lake. That is also a one-way street. Well, I don't know about that. We'll see about that. But continuing southbound on Lake, speed's picking up to 40, 50 miles per hour. And no, we're about back to two-way street here. Saw LAPD Air Support Division going over. It's so important, something like this, not only to broadcast the pursuit, but now we lost him there for a second. We'll pick him up behind the buildings. Now he's going back westbound on Green Street. Getting really tight and narrow here. We're going to try to widen it out a little bit and keep up with him. Back westbound on Green Street through Pasadena. So really just circling up through the Pasadena area. These are very narrow streets and a lot of trees. So that's like a one-way street there as well. Back westbound and eastbound one-way street.
Oh, boy.
So not a good idea here. We're going to widen out and lead him a little bit just to make sure there are no vehicles coming. We're going to try to catch up and get a better angle on him if we can. So we got a CHP helicopters now taking over the LAPD airship. Look at that. Right between two vehicles, wrong way. Yeah, you don't want a big Ford F-250 coming at you the wrong way here, but at least the speeds aren't terribly fast, and some of the people see him coming and kind of getting out of the way, as you see right there. Okay, passenger side's open, two people running. They ran into the Tony Roma's there. We're going to mark that real quick. We're going to stay with the vehicle. That was on. We'll come back and mark that in a second. So he let two passengers out, looked like two males in dark clothing, bailed into that area there. So I'm sure CHP will be working with Pasadena to lock that down as we continue going westbound on that one-way street, which is Green Street at Raymond. So two people out, at least obviously one person left, the driver.
Yeah, he dropped them off. That's the Paseo Mall. It's right across the street from the Pasadena Civic Auditorium and the Convention Center. And this is in a very dangerous area.
Is he stopping? Looks like he's stopped.
It is running.
There he goes.
We got a suspect running. It is a male with a gray shirt, long sleeve gray shirt, black jeans,
going into a parking
black
structure.
Shoes into the parking structure, and that is going to be right at 106 West Colorado. You see CHP running in. Then now the idea is to contain it. We're going to try to get around on the other side to make sure he doesn't run out the other side of the parking structure, because that are very. We're going to put our streets back up so you can see that's DeLacy, Fraser Alley, Marlboro Alley. Those are the streets involved from SkyMap 7. They're going to try to keep coming around. We're going to keep orbiting to make sure he doesn't come around on the backside. But running in here, that's not him. Now, the idea is to get this contained. They're going to try to get as many officers as they can. You can see the CHP has run around the backside, so they got at least 3 or 4 officers, but they got to get officers on each corner of this thing because it's very easy for him to pop out. In fact, we're watching very closely to make sure he doesn't pop out on either corner here. A lot of the times what they'll do, too, is they will change clothing. They'll strip the clothing down, at least the shirt, maybe a shirt, and try to... But he was wearing a long-sleeve gray shirt, black pants, and black shoes, so we know what he was wearing. But if he had a T-shirt under there, he may come out with a different set of clothing on other than the pants and shoes. Obviously, they aren't going to change.
Yeah, if he's just changed, if he strips down to if he's got a T-shirt on, it'll look a little strange to anybody because it's a cold night. So that would probably set off some alarm bells if he does change clothes. Whatever it is, it would be lighter than what he's got on, unless he already had some kind of plan. Who knows? We'll find out. The police are hoping to find out when they seal off this parking structure that has now ended in a foot bail. The suspect bailed out on foot into that parking structure. This is in Pasadena, in downtown or Old Town Pasadena. This is near about a block off of Colorado Boulevard, actually near an Apple store there where people have been lining up. Those are the only people we've seen out, were the people that were lined up outside that Apple store waiting for the new iPhone. But so far, no danger to them. What you have now is police that are surrounding this fairly large parking structure after the suspect was seen running in there. And the report was initially that he may have been armed. And so that is why they're using extreme caution and also being very vigorous in their pursuit of this individual.
Yeah, they are still, it looks like they're still searching. Let's go up to JT quickly. JT, no suspect in custody, right?
None yet, Mark and Michelle, but we did learn from airborne law enforcement he is wanted. They're wanted for burglary suspects that are possibly armed.
Okay, JT, thank you for that. Our coverage will continue on abc7.com. But for now, here on ABC 7, thanks for watching. Jimmy Kimmel Live is coming up next.
Leslie, we're still waiting for an update from officials. Pasadena police did have many streets closed off as they searched for those suspects. But as you can see right now, all is clear. 2 of those suspects did flee on foot into Paseo, Colorado, possibly the parking garage that you see here. Now, this all happened about 11 o'clock last night. Officers in pursuit of a white pickup truck. The driver going the wrong way on Green Street in Pasadena. The truck stops at one point near Paseo, Colorado. As I mentioned, 2 passengers seen exiting the vehicle, bailing on foot. The driver then turns right on DeLacy, abandoning the truck, and then runs into a parking garage himself there on DeLacy. Officers are in pursuit just moments later. Then Air 7 also captures a person believed to be that suspect walking quickly down an alleyway. Officers did continue to search that area for hours, but right now we do believe that those suspects are still on the loose at this hour. Now, according to Orange